The NBA 2K series has had its ups and downs through many years, but recently, many fans have expressed their concerns with the game and it's been on a downward path for some years now. The game has turned away from what it used to, focusing on things like features and gameplay and just overall making the fans happy. It's taken this very dark turn towards microtransactions and ads, whatever will put more money in the pockets of 2K. But all of this started with one game, NBA 2K18. NBA 2K18 was the fifth iteration of the game on the PS4 consoles, coming right off of 2K16 and 2K17, which people label as some of the best 2Ks ever. Now, to provide some context, people were frustrated with NBA 2K17. They were upset because it had the same parts as 16. Some of the things with the gameplay people didn't like, but revisionist history will tell you that 2K17 was just one of the best games ever, which it really wasn't. But besides that, people wanted a change. People were desperate for a change. And at the top of that list was a new park. So, this is when 2K decided to go away from affiliations and make something that we now know called as a neighborhood. The neighborhood was the start of this open world style 2K. You could walk in the stores, go get your hair cut, and in the beginning, people loved it. People loved the idea of having an open world game. People thought it was so cool that you could walk around the park, walk to Foot Locker, walk to get your hair cut. It was definitely something new and something that we had never seen in a game before. But it didn't take much time for people to change their opinion on it. You see, the biggest problem with the addition of the neighborhood was the fact that it split everybody up and people weren't just there to play basketball anymore. Now, while the servers were separated, you still spawned by the Allen Iverson statue and you had to fast travel or walk all the way to where the park was. That made it very inconvenient. You had to walk through all the stores and past all the ads. Now, to be fair, the neighborhood wasn't really that big in 2K18, but there was still a lot of problems with even getting to the park. Anybody that played 2K18 will tell you that if you went into the subway station, there was a good chance you weren't coming out of it. There was all types of glitches and stuff actually trying to get into the park. And then once you got into the park, it was just very bland and very depressing. There wasn't really many colors. Only color there really was on a 2's court. Everywhere else, it was just a bunch of gray. We had the same looking park for the whole year. There was just never any change or any style of the park. So after about a month in, the people were just tired of it. But that's not even the biggest issue. This is the game that started the money-hungry trend of 2K. This game had so many microtransactions. Things were so expensive. You had to pay 1,000 VC just to get a haircut. It got so bad that 2K actually had to go in and change their prices, which is something they have never ever done before. On top of the fact that even in my career, you got spammed with a bunch of cutscenes that were just big old ads that you couldn't even skip. That wasn't even the worst thing about the cutscenes. I think we all know what the worst thing about the cutscenes were. Mrs. B Fresh. B Fresh was very, 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 very annoying. Every 2 seconds, she was in your crib for some random reason. This is easily the most annoying character 2K has ever given us. And you put that on top of the fact that the story was just downright stupid. You started as a DJ and somehow you got scraped off the streets and made it to the NBA. You had this dumb little rivalry with ATM, and the whole story was really done through the phone. You did the whole story through the phone through text messages. There wasn't really much substance to the story. And when you have all those problems that don't even include gameplay, it makes it really hard to win your fans over. But if you have good gameplay, maybe you can keep your fans engaged. But they did not have good gameplay at all. This is the worst gameplay that I've ever seen in any 2K outside of 2K21 current gen. The blow-bys and snatchbacks were absolutely OP. There wasn't any type of way to play any type of defense in the game. The movement was very, very stiff. So literally people just resorted to doing blow-bys and snatchbacks. Outside of that, there wasn't too many gameplay problems. Also, one more thing with the gameplay, the missed layups in this game were absolutely garbage. You can literally be wide open and there could be somebody that even breathed on you. You can miss the layup. For some reason, it was really random, but sometimes you get a layup meter and you wouldn't know when it would come and you didn't know when you would time it. So it just made finishing at the rim very random and extremely annoying. But the blow-bys and snatchbacks were just so OP that it made it so that the rest of the game didn't even matter. That's all people try to do is either get a blow-by or a snatchback. I feel like this was a really big turning point in 2K where they really started adding a lot of can animations in the game. Sure, before there was some can animations in previous 2Ks, but it was really bad in 2K18 and it really reflected on the games after that. You even look now in 2K23, the Clamp Breaker badge literally gives you the same ability to just be able to run right past people. But if you don't want to take my word for how bad the game was, just take 2K's. They sent out a survey asking why people stopped playing the game. I've never seen them even do that with any other 2K. And some of the options were Live 18 or Fortnite. When does 2K even mention Live at all? Nonetheless, for a survey to why you stopped playing the game, 2K knew that they dropped the ball in this game and they knew they were losing their player base. This was also at the time of Prime Fortnite, so people weren't even playing the game at all. 2K was losing money for sure, so it got to the point where 2K was just clueless and they had to ask the people why they stopped playing. You take all of these things into account, you get one of the worst 2Ks ever and the start of the end of the 2K series. I'm not saying that 2K is done for and they can't make any other good games ever again, but this is the start of the downward trend and it's a big reason why we have a lot of the problems we have in the game now with the microtransactions. But hey, those are just my thoughts, man. Y'all can leave y'all in the comments. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, join the family, do all those good things, and I'm gonna catch y'all next time, man. Peace.